The Giannis era in Milwaukee is over, and Ronaldo is back. Welcome to the Huddle, guys. My name is Ariel Meza, your host, and today I'm joined by Thomas Gobbo this time. What's up, Thomas? And Sparrow. Thank you guys for joining me. How was the past couple of days for you guys? How you guys been?
Pretty good, chilling. A lot of sports news going on, and excited to talk about it. That's for sure.
Yeah, the recent days had the NBA draft, NHL drafts tonight as we're recording this, and just a lot of sports news. So just to jump right into it.
Man, World Cup's still going on, but we got to start with Giannis, probably the biggest headline in sports right now, which is crazy considering what's going on in the World Cup. Giannis to the Miami Heat for what was it? A whole bunch of picks.
For Tyler Hero, Bobby Portis. Yeah, I think the biggest thing is Miami gets a bona fide superstar, already NBA champion. I believe 2-time MVP, Giannis, and he gets the
Defensive Player of the Year.
Yeah, and he's gonna play in an awesome front court with Bam Adebayo, who just dropped 82 points the last season. So we'll see how that works out.
Wasn't he between the Celtics and the Heat, right?
Yeah.
And then I think I saw somewhere that the Celtics offered Jaylen Brown in a package, and I was seeing somewhere that Giannis should have gone to Boston if he was smart, but
I would have hated for him to go to Boston as a Lakers fan. And I love Giannis. I would hate him on the freaking Celtics, dude. And I heard something else that he was open to going to Minnesota, like signing with Minnesota. Imagine Edwards and him together would be crazy.
Yeah, it's gonna be really, I don't know. Giannis is gonna be paired with another. He's never really had a superstar on his team before.
Yeah.
So now he's gonna have to know how to, I guess, share the offensive workload with Bam Adebayo along with the rest of the guys. Norman Powell, I believe, still in the Heat. So we'll see what's cracking over there.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know Giannis personally, of course, but from videos I've seen, he seems like a nice enough guy and a chill dude that he doesn't mind sharing the spotlight. I think he just wants to win, right?
He was just at the Aces game yesterday.
I was about to bring that up. He was at the Aces game with Bam. I don't know if they're sitting together, but I mean, that seems like a bonding opportunity. You know, he knows Bam's significant other, Asia Wilson, is on the team and you know, came to support, and it's great having Giannis here and being in Vegas. And speaking of Vegas, hopefully a new NBA team soon.
Yeah.
With what's his name, Bill Foley.
Yeah.
Putting in a bid, that's something we gotta talk about for sure.
I think you're seeing Vegas, especially with the addition of a PWHL team as well. I think it's just reinforcing Vegas becoming the sporting capital of the world. You know, I think it's already the fight capital of the world with the UFC and all the events they put down or put on here. But I think you're seeing now you have a women's hockey team in the early expansion era that they've been doing. And then if an NBA team comes here, you have pretty much, especially with the Athletics coming here, you have the big four teams here. And I think that just kind of solidifies Vegas as the sporting capital. And you're going to see a lot of, for us as journalists, I think you're going to hopefully see some jobs open up because I know job market's tough out here. But
yes, it is.
I just think it's good to see because I think Vegas has been kind of like it's obviously gambling and all that stuff, and I think sporting wise now you're starting to see it really kind of flourish in a way.
Yeah, it's really only had UFC before, and now has expanded into a lot more. Gonna have a baseball team in 2020 or next year.
2028.
Yeah, I think so. 2028.
They've been playing games here already. And,
right.
I mean, say baseball, then I'm sure basketball. That's like a damn near guarantee in my head.
Mm-hmm.
You said big four sports, and I agree of an American.
Yes,
four.
That's what I meant.
But the one sport where I've been waiting for, and who's probably the least likely to come soon, is the MLS. And Harold was talking about it on the last episode that he thinks, you know, soccer is going to have a big boom in the U.S. soon, and I agree with him. And I think pretty soon we're going to see the MLS become, you know, that fifth league in that big five. So I'm excited. I mean, there's rumors already of the Whitecaps wanting to move here because Vancouver doesn't want to extend their contract in that city. So with this new stadium, you know how I talk about. So.
Especially with seeing how the World Cup's been received here.
Yes.
I think that kind of it's a tourist destination, yes, but at the same time, you're seeing kind of USA fans as well. This is like the first taste that they've gotten of real quality soccer in a way. And I think that you're seeing the fans kind of rally behind it. And if that's a precursor of if a soccer team were to come and boom in Las Vegas, it'd just be even more of a catalyst for sports in the United States.
Yeah, I think especially if the U.S. continues to, I guess, win in the World Cup, that's only going to bring more expectation.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's not get look. The U.S. is a decent team. They've not proven themselves just yet. Even though, yes, I did give them praise last episode. They are probably better than I've ever seen them.
Yeah, this is the best. I think this is the best.
But I think a lot of teams are better than I've seen them right
now.
It's been a weird World Cup and it's been a fun World Cup. And I can't say I'm rooting for the U.S. as a Mexico fan, but I wouldn't mind if they did good again, just because I want the sport of soccer to grow in the U.S. And if it were to be able to grow in Las Vegas specifically, would be amazing for me. And I think for the city of Vegas, there's so many Hispanics here who play soccer, grew up playing soccer. I mean, I grew up in the high school system playing soccer here, and there's a lot of passionate people here about soccer. And right now we only have the lights, but I think if an MLS team were to move here, that they would see a lot of success. And we were close a couple of years ago with San Diego. San Diego beat us in a bid, and that they ended up having San Diego FC out there. But I think Vegas is due sometime soon. And yeah, like you said, the sports capital world, and now it's really true. It's just grown so much in the past 5-10 years. And that's great for us as reporters, but also as fans and as people from Vegas. Just a great thing to see, right?
Yeah, for sure. And, speaking of the World Cup, I mean, I've said it pretty much every episode we've covered it, but I mean, the storylines just keep getting better and better and better. Yeah. I mean, you did have the Messi becoming the most leading World Cup goal scorer, and then you also had kind of Ronaldo as well bounce back in a way because he was getting kind of, I don't want to say,
he was getting shut out.
Yes, I would say the media was covering. They were covering him because Messi was flying high and kind of Ronaldo was flying under the radar a little bit. And
we'll get there in a little bit.
Yes.
Let's make our way back to the NBA.
Yeah.
So Giannis traded to the Heat, but also the next day we had the NBA draft, and you guys were talking about a little bit before. What were the biggest moments from the NBA draft for you, Thomas?
Well, I think biggest one, of course, AJ Debinsa from BYU. He's 19 years old, and he's getting drafted to the Washington Wizards, #1 overall. I think he's the best two-way player, best all-around player in the draft. I think Darren Peterson, who got picked second, is the best scorer in the draft. Very shifty guard from Kansas. And, pick third is Cameron Boozer. Cameron Boozer, I totally forget where he's going. No, I forget where he's going. Oh, Memphis. Memphis.
Did you forget which college?
Yeah, Memphis. But yeah, played at Duke, a stellar freshman campaign that, of course, lost to UConn on some crazy stuff.
You can say what you want. That shot, was Braylon Mullins, right? That
freshman.
That shot's just insane.
Crazy, but yeah. Still keeping it NBA. The Lakers got Cohen Carr, supposedly the best dunker in the class. We'll see. I know our draft picks in the past have gotten a little quiet. Jalen Hood-Schifino did not turn out a good pick. Dalton Connect showed signs his rookie year, but not much since. So hopefully this draft pick can provide a lot for the Lakers. And Austin Reeves just re-signed 185 over 4 years, so $49 million around there. So now they have a backcourt of Luka and AR, or not now, they have been, but I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it.
Yeah, I was a little worried. One of our friends from UNLV, Darren, was posting that he thought Reeves was going to get maybe shipped off because of the draft pick they made, and then so they signed the extension. Was that today that they signed that extension?
Yeah, this morning.
So that was good. And I was like, I'm a huge Reeves fan. I like him. He's cold. So I was like, I'm glad they kept him, and I gotta definitely watch basketball more. I don't watch it too much, but I'm a Lakers fan. I consider myself to be. So yeah, happy for that. But I was saying in the last episode that the Wizards have built a pretty good squad out there, and so now they have Trae Young, Anthony Davis, if he stays healthy.
Just signed Trae Young. I know a lot of people. Right? A lot of people were saying that he might get shipped off, and I'm like, no, I don't think the Wizards would go pretty much all out for Trae Young just to trade him the next off season. Yeah,
and no playing time out of him either. Yeah, no. So yeah, we were talking about it in the last episode. I know you weren't here, so talk about that. And I was wondering why I thought they were so good. It's because I forgot that they were going to get Bamsa. So now that's just a solid team. And I mean, where do you think they could land in the next season? Play-ins or?
Well, the East is just a known fact, not as strong as the West. So, I mean, if all things considered goes their way, AD stays healthy, locks down the 4 spot, gets back to his natural position at the 4 spot. I know with the Lakers and with a little bit of Dallas, he was playing the 5. So he gets back to the 4. You have Alexander Starr at the 5, and then Mix Debanza in there at the 3, Young at the 1, and not sure who's going to make up the 2 spot, but I mean, they could honestly finish either 4th or 5th, I feel, in the East. I mean, I don't know. We'll wait and see.
I mean, we're going to get to see him here in Vegas for the Summer League. It's coming up soon. So
we got some coverage of that.
Yeah.
So be there.
And, you know, I think one of our classmates, Whit, shout out Whit, last year he went to the Summer League, and he you saw like Cooper Flagg, all those big stars. Dylan Harper, I think, was another one. And I think the Summer League kind of is really good. I think you get to give those young rookies. I think they're going to be starters, like the top 5. The first round can be bona fide starters, but I do think Debanza fits in. I mean, pretty much perfectly. I think from what I saw at BYU, I think he starts immediately and makes an impact.
Yeah, he's a straight superstar. I don't know, like the Giannis situation, it might be a little hard trying to share the ball with a lot of people that want the ball in their hands. AD not so much. Trae Young, of course, the facilitator. You know, maybe AJ kind of takes a corner shooter role, kind of. I don't know. I'm not entirely sure how that fits, but that's the beauty of the Summer League and early on in the season. So we'll see how the Wizards do.
Didn't Julius Randle also get traded?
Julius Randle got traded
which
to
is
the
a
Nets.
huge deal because Julius Randle was included in that trade to get Cat to the Knicks, and then the Knicks win, and Cat thinking. Well, actually, both ways. Cat thinking the Timberwolves and the Knicks thinking Julius Randle for so long at the time that he spent there. But for the Timberwolves, use that. Like, they thought they were getting a good trade out of that, sending Cat off, and then he wins the championship, and then they get rid of Julius Randle. So it's like, I feel like Timberwolves fans are pretty upset because it feels like that was just a waste of time, a waste of Cat. So yeah,
I don't know. I wouldn't be too upset now. Anthony Edwards gets to do whatever he wants.
I was about to say
he doesn't have a second option on the team, so he's going to be. Don't be surprised if he's averaging 30 on excellent shooting. So,
but is that better for the team, or is that just better for him?
That's better for Anthony Edwards.
Minnesota fans, not so much.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, before we move on from the NBA, I got one more thing. Kareem Lopez, first Mexican-born player to be drafted in the first round, drafted to the Pistons, and traded to the Grizzlies. For me personally, again, I don't watch basketball too much. As a Mexican-American, that's just something very special to me, especially with the World Cup going on right now, and you see a lot of Mexican pride as them being a host nation. Just pride for every country right now. That's pretty special for Mexicans everywhere. And as I talk about the World Cup, probably easily the most diverse sport, soccer, the worldwide sport. But right next to that to me is basketball. As of right now, baseball close with the World Baseball Classic, but basketball, so many stars now in this league are foreign-born, like Wemby, Jokic, Luka. And now you're adding a Mexican player to the mix, and hopefully he's a star in the future. So that's pretty dope for me to see, and I'm going to be rooting him on for sure.
Well, just take a look at how many MVPs the last, European, Canadian players have won. Shea's back-to-back. Giannis, Jokic.
Yeah.
I don't think there hasn't been a U.S.-born MVP since either Kevin Durant or Russell Westbrook, and that was 2017 or 18. I think so. That's crazy.
Which is the reason why during the All-Star Week we get the world versus the U.S. because although, yes, the U.S. is still very dominant in basketball, the rest of the world is catching up, especially France. Germany has been in the mix. Like, there are solid teams out there, and that's just great for the sport. Obviously, I'll root for the U.S. in basketball, but I just love to see every sport grow, and to go to Mexico. I didn't know basketball was like that out there, so to see a Mexican-born player coming from Mexico in the first round, and that's pretty dope. And there's Mexican players, but Mexican-born.
Yeah.
Like that's another level. So that's dope to see. Then we're gonna move on to NHL. I know Kyle has some news for us. I'm not too sure, not too versed in the NHL world, so I'm gonna let Kyle take over.
Yeah. So in the recent, I'd say probably 2 or 3 days or so,
Team's been pretty active.
we've seen a lot of, especially with the draft happening tonight in Buffalo, a lot of teams trying to get their draft picks in order. There's been, I would say, 2 to 3 major trades. So let's start off with the first one that I'm pretty sure everyone, if you follow the NHL, saw. Brady Tkachuk joins his brother Matthew Tkachuk in Florida, and Ottawa got pretty much the house on it.
Yeah.
But they also lost their franchise player.
Yeah.
And you say Florida is going to make it back to the Cup. I personally don't think that. I think their issue now becomes goaltending. And, Bobrovsky did not have a good season. He's probably gone. And depending on who they get, it will be interesting to see how they kind of fit in a new goalie.
I mean, they're no stranger to making big trades. We just seen it. But, I mean, we have all that star power on that team. Don't forget, this team won a cup just 2 years ago and went back-to-back. No, they just won one.
Yeah.
Won one. Yeah, that's right. I don't know. I really don't know. I kind of do feel really strongly. I mean, all 4 of those lines, and we've seen with Carolina how they dominated the Knights with all 4 lines. They just didn't have the ferociousness. I'm talking about Vegas compared to the Hurricanes.
Yeah.
They just were not matched up well against them. And you've seen it showed in 6 games. I mean, it was tied 2-2, and then Carolina just kind of swept the floor. But, I mean, when you have all 4 lines, forechecking, being aggressive, and now you have the star power possibly on the first line, or if Brady, is the centerman for the second line. It's a real scary team, that's for sure.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how they kind of use Brady Tkachuk, because he's kind of I don't want to say a two-way player, but I mean, he's a terrific forward. He was really good in Ottawa, just couldn't get anything going. Come playoff time, he would not show up in the playoffs. I think Florida has a better roster than the Ottawa Senators, of course.
1,000%.
But I think Ottawa kind of got what they wanted. They got a lot of young players. They got a lot of young talent. I think they also got draft picks, which is really good. But I don't like the idea of trading your franchise player, but I think in this case, I think it was warranted because
they had the time, they had the time with them, and they couldn't make it happen. So I mean,
it's better to do that than I think because I think they're in kind of a rebuild because they didn't have, yes, they made the playoffs, but didn't have a good showing. And I think that they were like, okay, Tkachuk, because I saw somewhere that he kind of lost the locker room around the trade rumors throughout the entirety of the back half of the season. But I think both teams kind of benefited from it. Florida gets the Tkachuk brother reunion again, and then Ottawa gets kind of a rebuild. A couple pieces.
I'm not sure if he has the Tkachuk name that they're gonna trade for him. I think they just want to do it for a storyline.
We'll have to wait until next.
Is this comparable to like Fantasis and Antetokounmpo, or is he a little better?
Nah, I mean Matthew and Brady are kind of on the. I mean Matthew's, I'd say better than Brady a little bit, maybe.
Yeah.
But I don't know. They're kind of like 1A, 1B kind of tier level. I know. Okay, so Giannis and his brother kind of like this.
No offense.
No offense, but yeah.
So he's a solid player.
Yeah.
Solid pickup for Florida.
All right, so who do you think is going to make the Cup final?
Yeah, I was going to ask. So last year, you had a prediction, and I mean, you switched it halfway through the season, and then that's when you got.
Because the Rangers did not know how to win a game. No. And then I was like, okay, the Hurricanes are kind of on fire, and I think this is finally the year they get over it, and they did. Oh God, am I gonna make it now?
Yeah, let's get super early.
Am I going 2 teams or just one? Who do I think is gonna win it?
Let's go both sides. Go finals and then who wins it?
Okay, I think finals coming out of the East. I don't think there will be a repeat champion. I don't think.
Mm-mm.
I think the Minnesota Wild will make it out of the West finally. East, I think it's going to be the Hurricanes again, and then I think the Wild win it. Super early. I think Kirill Kaprizov. I think he's going to be the catalyst. I know the West is so stacked, especially with I think the Avalanche's reign is kind of ending. I think that they are obviously the better team, but they're kind of declining. We saw that really evidently against Vegas. I don't know how Vegas swept them still. I think Vegas is kind of also on the decline as well. I know they brought in the Craig guy for a new head coach, but I don't know. I liked what I saw out of Matt Boldy. They didn't have Eric Sinek for that playoffs, and then they still put up a really good fight against a tough Dallas team as well as a tough Colorado team. Dallas is in a world of I don't know what the hell they're going to do with Jason Robertson. Yeah. But I think super early prediction. I do think the Minnesota Wild get to the Cup final. Obviously, my opinion will probably change unless I see something different. But I do think just seeing the Carolina Hurricanes this year, I think that they've solidified themselves as a team to be reckoned with. Again, it's their defense. I mean, even their stars were very quiet going into the Sebastian Aho, Svechnikov didn't get going until
they got it going later in the
Cup
fifth or
final
sixth game.
So
put it away.
And I don't know. I think the Hurricanes are they finally got over the hump, and now they will continue to just get to that stature. I'm not going to say start a dynasty, but I do think that they're a team to be reckoned with for the next coming years.
Yeah, I really do think the Wild can get over that hump and make a Cup final, but I think they have to. They went out and traded for a superstar defenseman, Quinn Hughes. Now you pair him.
I forgot about him completely. Well, that's another. I don't know how to forget about him.
Yeah, it's probably Kaprizov and Hughes being, two of their best players. Hopefully they can cash in and, maybe make the Cup final. But I don't know. I hope Vegas still makes it.
And then, yeah.
I have no predictions for NHL, but as someone who's rooting for VGK, I don't think they're going to be quite good next year, to be honest. It feels like it's time for them to kind of go on the decline after so many years of success. And
you're bringing in a new head coach, and then we don't know what's going to happen with Carter Hart in terms of goaltending because he didn't have a stellar performance later on in the Cup final. So I think it'll be interesting to see what they do.
Personally, I cannot blame him 100%.
No,
there were so many goals that were a result of poor defense, like sloppy defensemen just messing with the puck and not. Again, I'm no hockey expert, but in terms of soccer, because I compare hockey to soccer a lot. It was just what were they doing with the puck back there? Just fumbling around, and then they would get it stolen, and then it would be a goal. And I was like, "What are you doing? You're setting up your goalie for failure." Yeah. And I can't support that. Being a goalie in soccer.
There was a lot of turnovers leading to one-on-ones with the goalie, Carter Hart trying to desperation save. But the defenseman, to your point, did not play good at all. I give credit to Brady McNabb for playing with
he's a dog.
Playing with a broken nose.
He's a dog.
He's a dog, but there was one. I believe there was one goal that was the result of him kind of turning it over.
Game 5, he took a crucial penalty, led to a power play goal, and then took another penalty. Just kind of kept Vegas out of the game. And then Shea Theodore, I think their highest paid defenseman, didn't have a good series either. So
he had one of the weirdest delayed games I've ever seen. He launched it from one end of the ice to the other, and it didn't even hit a single board player or anything. But speaking of defensemen, another big trade. This involves my Buffalo Sabres. Bowen Byram and Mason Greenway, part of a trade to send over to the Blackhawks in exchange for arguably the biggest part of this trade, the 4th overall pick in this draft, among other things. I think that the Blackhawks don't know what they're doing.
I think they're trying to reset, but still trying to stay competitive. I couldn't tell you.
Yeah, Buffalo got the 4th overall pick, a 45th overall pick, and a defenseman, Louis Crevier. I don't know how to say his name, but I think you have to clear room out for Bedard. 1, 2. I don't understand why they wanted Mason Greenway as part of the package. I'm sure the Sabres threw him in just to get a 45th overall pick and something else. But I did see that Bowen Byram wanted to be the number 1 defenseman or given the chance to get the number 1 defenseman. That's not happening. Power's there. Darlene's probably top 3, top 5 defenseman in the league. And then I don't know if Chicago saw Byram worth a 4th overall pick. I don't know what the thought process was there. But one of our friends is a Chicago Blackhawks fan, very much questioned it. And I was like, you know what, bro? As a Buffalo Sabres fan, you should be disappointed. I know disappointment, and that's just how the cookie crumbles at the end of the day.
Then you had some more Buffalo Sabres
news.
news.
Alex Tuck testing free agency, but in a sign and trade deal. This actually broke an hour ago at the time we're recording this. He gets dealt to the Washington Capitals in exchange for a 2027 third-round pick, which I think is awful for us. Which I will now admit, where's my eyes? I'll now admit the Buffalo Sabres lost the Jack Eichel trade. There, I said it. That's all I'm going to say about it. Jack Eichel wins the Stanley Cup. Yes, blah, 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 blah. We're not going to go too deep into that. But I do think with Alex Tuck being gone, he did wonders for our team last season. He was probably one of the leading catalysts for us to go to the playoffs. And then he gets dealt for $10.5 million a year for 8 years, which I think is outrageous.
So we'll put that into perspective.
Yeah.
Nathan McKinnon makes 12. Draisaitl makes 14.
Yeah.
So we'll let the audience do their comparison
That is,
on that.
In my opinion, I love Alex Tuck, but 10.5 is egregious.
A little crazy. Yeah. But
and then Washington also got Jordan Kyrou. A lot of trades here, guys. A lot of trades.
Yes.
It's kind of what you expect ahead of the draft. NBA did a similar thing. But Jordan Kyrou gets dealt to the Washington Capitals in exchange for Connor McMichael and a couple of draft picks as well. Kyrou, really, really good young talent. I think I heard rumors like last season as well. He was going to be dealt along with Robert Thomas as well. But I think Washington, they got draft picks and then they got another good forward, Alex Tuck and Kyrou the same day. And I don't mind it. I think Washington with Ovechkin kind of either he's going to be out, we don't know. But they're doing their thing. It'll be interesting to see what they do on draft night. But it's again Washington Capitals, kind of a mid-tier team as well. I don't know what else to say about them. But yeah, and then San Jose Sharks got another trade as well.
Yeah, William Eklund, right?
Yep.
Traded to Ottawa for the 9th pick. So they flipped the 9th pick that they got in the Brady to Chuck trade, and flipped it for William Eklund. Eklund was on that first line with Macklin Celebrini. Consistent young player. All these, lower tier teams are going young, trying to rebuild and see, what they get. And yeah, Eklund was a big part of their success.
And then so San Jose, they now hold the number 2 pick. They now hold the number 9 pick, as well as another late
20-something,
late first round pick. So I think it's very clear. It's very clear that they want to build young talent, and I think they will most likely draft that Stenberg guy, very good Swedish player, in the draft tonight. And then with the addition, I think again Ottawa gets another young piece of talent, and they kind of are building a new culture because Brady Tkachuk obviously is out. Tim Stützle's still there. I think another young guy out of Germany, and I think he's kind of now in the face of the franchise with Brady Tkachuk out, and then still have Claude Giroux there. I think he's on the way out as well. But kind of an underrated trade. Another trade again because the NHL loves.
There's going to be more later for sure.
So Calgary and New Jersey, kind of just prospects here. Calgary gets Simon Nemec and Maxim Tisplikov, I think is his name. But the New Jersey Devils, they get a 35th overall pick.
Yeah, 2 first-round picks.
2 first-round picks, and then Etienne Morin. It's kind of just prospects and young talent. But they do say both first-round picks are top 10 protected. So that's probably a better trade for the Devils. Jack Hughes still over there as well. Timo Meyer over there as well. There's just a lot of pieces for them, but it'll be interesting to see. I'm sure the next episode will have a recap of the NHL draft, or at least the first round. I know Ariel doesn't know a lot about the NHL, but it's kind it's kind of one of those things where, similar to the NBA draft night, a lot of trades. Teams want to get their stuff together, and then you see a lot of teams kind of making big moves for those top draft picks. Because I think if this season or if last season is any indicator of young talent, you saw teams like the Ducks, you saw teams like the Sabres, for example, just make really big strides in terms of team depth with young players. I think the Ducks and the Sabres had two of the youngest teams out there.
Yeah, they're playing cheap hockey, that's for sure.
Exactly, and same with the Sharks. They almost made it to the playoffs, and they haven't made the playoffs damn near in a long time.
Yeah.
So it's good to see young talent. I think they're getting kind of more draft stock as it keeps going. Kind of raises the draft stock, especially draft picks as well. We've seen a lot more draft picks being dealt. But yeah, that's kind of the big trades, as well as recently Mike Babcock signed with the Edmonton Oilers. I think as of 1 minute ago, actually, Connor McDavid broke his silence on how he feels. If you don't know Connor McDavid, I don't know.
Then you're living on
I'll help you on that.
Yeah, even I know.
Yeah. I'm just reading a statement here. He said, "I'm excited about that challenge to be pushed by a coach because it's been a really long time in Edmonton." That speaks volumes for itself. Definition of insanity is trying the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. Babs is different. He gives us a different personality, a different approach to our group, an approach that we've never really tried. We tried it the same way for a really long time. Let's try it different.
So he might, according to that statement, he might have wanted Chris Knobloch out.
I think you know Connor McDavid.
Yeah, I know Connor McDavid. I mean, I definitely know hockey more because of you and Nate and the guys talking about it on previous episodes of Huddle when we were at school. But dude, I think after when I was looking up B-roll for one of the episodes, I was watching his highlights.
It's raw.
He's
It's different.
It's just generational talent. I think you can't rival him. And I think that statement pretty much sums it up perfectly. I think he's getting sick and tired of not winning anything. Right. And didn't win anything in World Juniors, got silver medal in the Olympics. He's just not been good for. Bro, he's done. He's done.
Yeah.
He literally said the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting the same result. He's done. He's got what? 1 year left on this contract?
I think so.
Because I think he signed a 2-year deal, took a pay cut so Edmonton could build around him, get him more superstars. Did not work out because Edmonton lost. It was the Ducks, right?
Mm-hmm.
Edmonton loses to a young team in the Ducks. Don't know how the hell that happened, but
I think they have the talent. They just never had
it's execution.
Well, they've just never had a consistent goaltender.
Yeah.
I think that's the biggest thing here.
They rely too much on McDavid and Draisaitl as well. But I mean, that's all the hockey news I've got. I mean, we'll probably have
stuff we got. Buffalo Sabres got $20 million. What are they gonna do?
I don't even know. You know what? I wouldn't be surprised if we were gonna draft a player, obviously in the top 5 with the 4th overall pick. Would not be surprised if we trade down to get a good player for that 4th overall pick. But I want them to go after Jason Robertson. I think free up some cap space. I think we need another superstar. Tage Thompson proved he can do it in the playoffs. I think we have a lot of young guys. I think Jason Robertson, he's on the way out. He wants a lucrative amount of money. I don't think he's going to get that much even if he tried. I think it was like $96 million. He's not getting paid $96 million. But I think if the Sabres have a trade package for him or want to sign him, I think go for it. I think our GM is making money moves, and I'm excited to see what happens.
So we'll see what happens. Ariel, take it away.
So all we got for NHL, dude, the NHL and basketball too are so discombobulating to me, especially around draft time. Because
it's nuts.
Trades are so common, and I'm a guy who really only watches football and grew up playing soccer, where I feel like stuff like that. Maybe in soccer more, but football, especially back then when I was a kid, was not. You didn't trade superstars. You didn't trade big guys. I feel like it's become a little more common now, but still compared to basketball and hockey, it's like it's like these players. I don't know. There's not many players that stay on the same team for forever. Right?
No, and a very good example of that is the Colorado Avalanche. Mm-hmm. And I think you see they've been like in football terms, they've been the Rams. Like when the Rams won their Super Bowl, they had the best team by a mile, not even close. Yeah. And the Colorado Avalanche, they have really good talent. They have Landeskog, they have McKinnon, obviously, and then they have Kel McCarr, which is arguably the best defenseman
they had Rantanen
in the league. They had Rantanen, traded him, but they're on the decline, and you kind of you're sending players that are kind of on a decline, and you can still get pretty good, like Bowen Byram, for example. He's a very good offensive defenseman for a 4th overall pick. You never see that. Like Blackhawks, I don't know what they're doing, but I think
that is Bedard's team. Like,
but 100%. But a 4th overall pick.
Yeah.
Would you rather? Okay, if you're a GM, right? I know you don't know anything about hockey. Mm-hmm. Would you rather have a top 5 pick to build around another young superstar, or a defenseman who jumps up in an offensive position, and a guy who is 30,
33, maybe
early 30s, and a role guy? Would you rather have a 4th overall pick or those two?
Have the 4th overall.
Exactly. They're in a rebuild. They haven't been good since the Patrick Kane and Jonathan Tays era. Yeah. And what are they doing? They had Taylor Hall. He's gone. Bedard's a god, but there's no.
Yeah.
Why would you trade a 4th overall pick?
I don't know, but it's good for you.
I'm good. We need it.
Oh, that went to the Sabres?
Yes.
What are you complaining for?
I'm pissed for Chicago fans.
Oh.
Because y'all don't know what y'all are doing.
Let's go. Before we get into the World Cup, let's talk about some American football real quick. Some news coming out of NFL and college football. Brendan Sorsby getting denied of that supplemental draft. We're not going to do a supplemental draft. And he's not going to be eligible for the NFL. Kind of a whole roller coaster of a situation since, his initial announcement of, gambling addiction?
Yeah.
I mean, Thomas, do you have any opinions on that? Like, do you think the NFL made the right decision here?
Yeah, I mean, I play a little devil's advocate here. So he hasn't done anything that violates NFL rules because he hasn't been in the NFL. We've seen guys in the NFL, Jameson Williams, Calvin Ridley get suspended for gambling stuff, but this guy is not in the NFL yet. So, I mean, he never violated any rules there at all. But I mean, your actions do have consequences. Like, it's not going to go unnoticed. The whole NCAA made a big deal about this thing, saying hey, we cannot, they denied his eligibility for last season or this upcoming season. So, I don't know. They haven't.
Then wasn't it overturned? Didn't they appeal it and they won and that he did get his eligibility back?
Yeah. Well, the thing was, he got, he was eligible, and then the NCAA and the Big 12, they said, we're not having that, because I think they're looking at the bigger picture. If they say, hey, this guy can play, then a bunch of other players are going to be, oh, well, I gamble too. I can play. It's going to create a whole trickle effect.
I would say this is an example setting up that the NCAA is doing. And it speaks volumes that the NFL is just a hard no, because yes, I know he went through the corrective actions, but you said it perfectly. Actions have consequences. And if the NCAA were just to let it go, then you have, as you said, the trickle effect, and you're going to get to see. And if the NFL had allowed it, then you have a whole nother problem with the NFL, who's even tighter on those regulations. And it comes to a point where if you're the outside guy looking in, and you're they allowed this guy in terms of gambling to happen to get to the NFL, and who knows what he does in the NFL, but it's just, as an outside guy, you're kind of okay, well, if he can do it, I can do it too. And I think that's where the line has to be drawn.
Last week, this whole stuff broke down. Said Sorsby's not playing. He said he's not. He's going to try the supplemental draft. Granted that they're not having a supplemental draft. But yeah, these teams, they said, we're not going to play Texas Tech because of that. And I think Texas Tech was whoa, we still need to be a school. We still need to be competitive and be on the schedule. Yeah, we don't want to sacrifice. At the end of the day, it's money. we don't want to sacrifice money, for one player. Granted, you paid the dude $5 million. So, I mean, you want him to play for your school, but at what cost? I don't know. It's crazy stuff.
I think they're drawing a line, and the line is very firm. Mm-hmm. And there will be no exceptions no matter what happens. And I know he goes into rehab. I know all that stuff. I know how serious it is, but I just think he's going to be eligible for the 2027 draft, right?
Yeah. But the thing with that is you already have this negative connotation to your name. So it's not even a guarantee that you are selected. Hell, if you're even picked up as in UDFA. Yeah. Just because of your reputation. But, nobody wants to, root down on the kid, but you got caught.
It's just an unfortunate situation he put himself in, and it's just it's sad to see, but the rules and regulations, they need to be firm to everyone, and you can't grant it.
I agree. I mean, I feel bad for the guy. I feel like he stepped up and has said, I do have a problem. I've acknowledged it. I'm trying to get better, and he wants to play, and I understand that. But rules are rules, and if they let this slide, how many other people they have to let it slide, and what happens to these leagues? And I mean, there's already an issue with NIL.
Yes.
In the first place. I knew it involved gambling into it, and it's going to become a huge mess for a bunch of kids and a bunch of kids in college. And so, it's unfortunate that he has to be made an example. But I mean, someone said that it's basically the year of punishment that he'd get anyways if he was in the league. So maybe eventually one day he can be in the league, but he definitely made it harder for himself.
Well, before the transfer portal even, occurred, you had to sit out a year when you transferred. Yep. So this is kind of, your punishment. Sit out a year, take time, reflect, be a better man. I think there's this one dude said, you're running away from your problems, because when you try and go from one league to another, that's just not kind of how life works. You can't, say, oh, I'm leaving, and then I'm going to try and get in over here. And it's not how that works. So
exactly.
Let's move on to a different type of football, the World Cup. I have some crazy news. Just now, Canada has lost to Switzerland, and Bosnia is up 2 with very minimal time to go, which means Canada will finish third place in their group. In Group B, that's quite insane. A host country and Bosnia, I believe I'm correct here. Bosnia will end up with more points than Canada here. So
I thought Bosnia was on the verge of elimination.
Now they're not.
Last week?
Good.
Jeez. Bosnia eliminated Italy, powerhouse in the World Cup for many years. Italy's been struggling for years to make the World Cup now in the past, 3 tournaments or 2 tournaments? So there was a Cinderella story going on in this World Cup. For Canada to finish third place is a shocker, and I mean,
especially after the
last game
they played Qatar, and they won 6-1,
6-0,
6-0. They shut them out.
I think it was 6-0. Yeah,
that's insane.
Yeah, and wow. I mean, let's see if they make it through. As of right now, they stand at 4 points, so they might still be able to make it through to the next round as a third place team. I mean, 8 of the 12 teams get through. Thomas, I know you're not as versed in soccer, especially with the World Cup. I would definitely advise you to tap into it, because there's been a lot.
I'm not a soccer guy, and I've seen some really good games.
I've been watching a couple of matches, and from what I've seen, the past weekend had a lot of good soccer games. I know Cape Verde upset. I forget the name.
Uruguay. Yeah, Cape Verde. We talked about in the last episode. Cape Verde has been another one of those Cinderella stories of a big shocker, tying Spain, tying Uruguay. And they do have an opportunity to win the group if they are to win their next game against Saudi Arabia, I believe. Saudi Arabia?
I think because Spain beat Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, so they beat Saudi Arabia, and Uruguay beats or ties Spain. I'm pretty sure that they would win the group, which would be insane.
Because Spain,
it would be really bad for Mexico, my team, because that is a potential chance for us to play Spain in the next first game of the next round. That's a knockout stage.
That's scary.
Spain is
the top.
Spain is the first ranked team. It's between France and Spain.
Yeah.
Well, I know Spain has the second favorite
Yeah,
odds.
Mbappe's on France, right?
Yeah.
And then who's on Spain?
Lamine Yamal's on Spain.
Lamine.
Is it Alvarez? Is on
How
Spain.
old is he? Like 19?
Yeah.
18.
18.
Crazy.
18. Just a couple. I think he's only a couple.
Crazy.
When he scored his first goal this week, he's only a couple days younger than when Messi scored his first goal in the World Cup. So history repeats. Barca player.
Young talent.
I don't know if you've seen this. Messi actually bathed Lamine Yamal when he was a baby.
Really?
Yeah, it's
That's
I
crazy.
think I don't know if it was like
Bro felt the aura.
or transferred to him. But yeah, we gotta definitely get into the World Cup. So Canada, that's a big news coming out of it. But on top of that, Mexico today will play their final game against Czechia, and Memo Ochoa is starting. Don't know if you know who Memo Ochoa is, but he's one of the most legendary goalies to me personally.
I know that
But,
dude.
he's never had great success in the club soccer, but when the World Cup comes around,
He shows out.
He shows out. He shows up, makes crazy saves. Made a crazy save against Lewandowski in a playoff or in a penalty kick, and he didn't get a start this year because he's a little older now. Some people think he shouldn't even be on the team, but he is one of 3 players, I believe, to make it 6 World Cups, which is Messi,
Wow.
Ronaldo, and Memo Ochoa.
There you go.
So
Elite company.
and maybe Modric. I don't know if Modric went all 6, but he's an elite company. He's one of very few, and he's going to be getting the start in this game today. So I'm very excited for that. I mean, he is the reason I played goalie growing up. So very special day for me. Seeing Mexico play is always a special day for me, but see him play, very excited. I'm actually predicting a pretty good game for him personally. I think he, puts his all in it. It's probably his last game ever. After this, he's retiring. So I
Go
think
out
he's
with a
gonna,
bang. Go out with a bang.
Yep, I think he's gonna put in a good game. I'm a little scared because Czechia has some tall dudes. Some people say Tyler Rangit should be playing this game because he needs all the reps he can in the World Cup as we get into the knockout rounds. So it's a great controversial pick, but me personally, I'm not complaining about it. Let our starter rest. Let Memo go and
Do it for the fans
Celebrate
too.
it. Yeah.
I'm sure they're gonna have.
It's a meaningless game too. So if we win this game or we lose this game, we're still first.
They
place.
were one of the first teams.
Yeah,
to
how
secure
many?
the
They have
knockout.
6 points, right?
Yeah, they have 6
Something?
points. The rest of our group isn't. They cannot beat us anymore. So we were the first group to qualify for the knockouts. And yeah, so I mean, I'm not too upset at it. And the way I see it, it's like in the NFL, your team's already made the playoffs. They have the first seed locked. Why play your
Get the
starters?
starters.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sit the starters. So.
Talk
And
about how-
actually, we're starting also Gilberto Mora, the youngest Mexican player to ever play for the team. He's also starting today. So, I mean, I said in the last episode, I did not like the lineup we went in with for the second game. I like this lineup already more.
You still won the second game, right?
Yeah, we still won it, which was a sloppy win.
It was the 1-0 to.
Yeah. We played very bad that game, but I did not like the lineup we went in with it. So I hope that maybe this lineup in this game, we do good and helps the coach realize, hey, we maybe need to start a few different guys. So we'll move on from Mexico, though. What we really need to talk about is Ronaldo.
Yeah.
He said he's back with a brace in the second game, 2 goals scored after an underwhelming first game. Messi scored a hat trick. Holland and Mbappe both scoring 2 in their first game, and then Ronaldo scores none. Now Ronaldo responds with a 2-goal game. And, Messi also scoring 2 goals to get that World Cup goal title. But Ronaldo, here's the big thing with this. Ronaldo scores, and in the media, the post-game, the questions are about Messi, And people are upset at Ronaldo for ignoring the question about Messi. You guys are laughing, but my issue with this is the way the media covers Ronaldo is so insane, and Messi has already had so much bias and help from FIFA this tournament already. I mean, in that first game we talked about it, Kyle.
Yes.
If that penalty, if that foul was called, why are you laughing?
No, it's just because we were having a conversation. It was me, you, our producer Marcus, and Harrow, and you were just so enthusiastic about just the whole Messi or Ronaldo conversation, and it's just
This is the reason why. Look,
it's funny.
okay, let's get into it. and Messi gets that red card in that first game. He only gets the one goal he scored before it. He doesn't get the other two. And he doesn't get two in the next game because he'd be eliminated because of the red card. So now instead of 5 goals in this tournament, Messi has 1. And I'm not saying that Messi doesn't have the time to score those 5 goals or he's not great, like he shouldn't have scored those. But the bias from FIFA has allowed him to score these goals, and the Messi fans are running with it, dude. Like, I have no issue with Messi as a player. I love Messi, but his fans cannot stand. Because now that Ronaldo finally responds 2 goals, he played Uzbekistan. Bro, Messi played Algeria and Austria, who are not top 10, top 15 teams in this tournament. And yes, Uzbekistan is much lower than them. But the next game Messi gets to play is Jordan. His group is not that strong. Ronaldo has to go play Colombia in the next game. On top of that, not just the fans, the media like Zlatan and Terry Henry on Fox Sports. After they already were talking, I don't want to say talking crap, but kind of giving this negative connotation to Ronaldo. Now he scores 2 goals. And the first thing I'm hearing out of their mouths is, oh, but look who they play. Oh, don't get too caught up in it. Oh, get ready for the next game. It's like, holy crap, dude. It's like, when Ronaldo does it, there's always something. There's an excuse. But when Messi does it, he's the greatest, the best. And I don't understand how hard it is for people just to enjoy both of them. You know?
I mean, with media, right? That's the biggest like starter question. Like, and I think someone, I don't know who it was. I think one of them decided to not answer a question about it. But I mean, in a way, you're right. I do think that it's kind of a different treatment in terms of the 2 stars. But at the same time, I think the expectation coming into this tournament for Ronaldo was significantly, there was kind of more pressure on him than Messi, I would say, personally. I know Marcus don't agree with it, but I would say, yes, Messi's coming off and Argentina's coming off winning the World Cup, but, Ronaldo, he got overshadowed. And as much as the media talks about it, I think Ronaldo kind of said, okay, he doesn't really pay attention to media. I wouldn't pay attention to the media if I were him, but I do think that yes, it was against Uzbekistan, but he scored 2 goals. And I mean, he showed why he's one of the 2, or not one of the 2, but in the GOAT conversation. And I just think the media is covering it how the media usually covers things.
Okay, so
in my eyes, at least.
I mean, for all of us as media members, we've all been in post-game conferences. Many people do have an issue with Ronaldo denying to answer the question about Messi. If you guys haven't seen the clip, I'll put it right here, right now.
Lionel Messi marcó 2 goles, Mbappé, y tú sigues demostrando que eres. Posso fazer outra pergunta, Cris? Depende da pergunta, senão não é boa essa.
So if you guys personally, do you think like people are saying this is why it's so hard to like Ronaldo? You didn't want to answer the question about Messi. You personally, do you think that's a character, like that's a sign of his character that he doesn't want to talk about Messi? Is he envious of Messi? Or is that more him not wanting to feed into the division between him and Messi and like these media members trying to create this spectacle of Messi versus Ronaldo? Because me personally, if I was him, I'm tired of being compared. When I do something good, always having to be compared to someone else. Not just Messi, but to Mbappe, to Haaland, all these star players, to Kane even. Why does my success need to be compared to someone else's? Why can't it just be Ronaldo scored 2 goals? How do you feel?
So as
all right,
someone part of the media, our number one thing is to make a headline.
Yep.
So I guess that's the only reason why, but it's not a flaw in his character at all, by no means, like at all. Like I don't know.
I think people tend to take stuff out of context based on whatever he said. Because if you look at it, any way he answers that question, it's gonna be a headline regardless. Because the way the question is formed, it's designed to make a headline. And I think as journalists, that's what we think of. We think of a question that is very prevalent in the media. And obviously the two goats, Messi and Ronaldo, or the two in the conversation. That's the headline. You want as many clicks as possible. There's your headline. But if I were him, I don't think that declining the question was the craziest thing. I think he wants to focus on the World Cup. He wants to focus on his team. He's one of the greatest players, but in my opinion, it's just he's focused on the tournament. He's not giving into all the noise, and he's just playing. And I think that's all you can do, because you look at other sports as well, and you see athletes answer that question, and then gets clipped, gets posted, headlines written about it, and then now it's not about the team anymore. It's about that certain clip and that certain moment. And I just think the media nowadays is kind of just looking for those, not really in it for the love of sports necessarily. But I don't mind that he declined to answer the question, because he wants himself to be focused on the team. He wants the entire tournament to be on his team, not him, and not that conversation.
If I'm a true sports media, fanatic, I love, soccer in this case, hey, Ronaldo, what was it like to, play in this? No, I don't want to answer the question. Okay, I'm going to go to your teammate, that, contributed to your team's success. Maybe interview them instead. So they're not interviewing necessarily for the team's success. They're interviewing him for the individual success.
Thank you for reminding me about his teammate. So this game, I don't know if you saw it, Thomas. 5-0 win for Portugal over Uzbekistan.
I did.
Okay. There was a moment there. It was before his second goal, I believe. Ronaldo could have gotten a hat trick if he had scored this one and then scored again later. He scored two. There was one in between where there was a free kick, and everyone thought Ronaldo was going to take it, because it's Ronaldo. He's a star player, and Ronaldo gets this characteristic put on him that he's selfish. He wants the goal. He doesn't celebrate his teammates' goals. He's lined up for this kick, and his teammate takes it, and they score. It's an amazing goal. And he's cheering with his teammates now. They used that whole tactic that Ronaldo's going to take it because he's the main man to trick the goalie. The goalie was looking to see when Ronaldo was going to move. And he faked it. The guy took him, they scored, right? That is team player. That is a team player right there. So for people to go out there and still say Ronaldo is not a team player, that he is holding back the Portugal team, is insane to me.
Again, it's clicks.
It's Messi fans. Though.
No,
yes,
okay. I am.
There's never been a debate. The Jordan LeBron debate is the only thing that comes close to Messi or Ronaldo. Nothing has ever been as close of a rivalry between fans as Messi and Ronaldo.
I'm not saying that, but at the same time, if you're a fan of one guy, you can hate the other guy all you want. I'm not against that, because you like your guy, you're pulling for your guy. If it's a tactic and Portugal in the back of their head or back of their mind is like, okay, everyone and their mother thinks that Cristiano Ronaldo's taking this free kick, I would use it as a tactic too. And whether or not that they say, oh, he's selfish, whether or not, let the clip speak for itself. If you see him run up and you see him fake it and the other guy kicks it and it goes into the goal and it's a worldy goal, then I think even Messi fans would be like, oh, damn, that was a damn good goal.
Well, I think that's the problem too. People don't watch the games. They go straight.
They see a clip on social media and then it's like.
Exactly. Lucky for your case, you watched the entire game.
Fact checking is no longer prevalent.
No. So it's just, hey Ronaldo, hey Ronaldo, what's it like being compared to Messi? No, I don't want to answer the question. Oh, Ronaldo is a selfish guy.
Yeah.
Well, come on now.
Yeah.
Come up with a better question. You just
to be fair,
question.
Ronaldo did not let him finish the question.
All he got out.
So what the reporter had said was, yesterday Messi scored 2 goals.
I'm out too.
And then
I'm not answering the question.
You're not interviewing Messi. You're interviewing Ronaldo. Ask Ronaldo about his game, not about Messi's game. Why would I talk about another man's game, bro?
Well, exactly. As a grown man, I do not, especially if I scored 2 goals. I don't want, the first 5
No.
questions out of your mouth being, hey, Messi. I'm done.
Dude, he immediately looked and turned away and was like, oh, he's so mean. Bro, so many times you've seen in American sports where a player will tell off the reporter, yo, F you, dude. Are you stupid? All he did was this. You go. No, you go. And that was it. He didn't tell you. Why are you talking about Messi? Don't talk to me. Stop asking stupid questions. You're stupid. He just turned away. He just said, no, you go. That is mainly more polite than what he honestly could have done if he wanted. And so I'm not upset at him for doing it. And I don't think people should try to be nitpicking and saying, oh, Ronaldo's rude for doing this or this.
No. But like if you flip it, right? Let's say Messi's asked a question about Ronaldo. I mean, I think I can confidently say I think Messi would have the same exact regardless of the goals, what they're scored and whatnot. I think he's in the same mindset as Ronaldo. I think he's gonna
as anybody would.
Like, I don't think he's gonna say anything that would warrant oh my gosh, he said this and this and that. But he's let your game and let what you do on the field speak for itself. I'm a big believer in if you talk the talk and you can't walk the walk, that's 2 different things. And if you say something, I would rather, instead of say something and then do something, I would rather someone says something to you and you're like,
and then you go,
and you're like, okay, that's fine. And then you go out and show out, and then you're like, hey, you remember what you were saying about that? Blah, 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 blah. I think both of those athletes, regardless of what's happening in the media, I think they're both in the same mindset. And the biggest thing, just reiterating, it's about the team. It is about, we are in the World Cup. We're all fighting for a chance to win. And if I say this or if I do a certain action, it takes away from the team. And I think in both athletes' case, that is not what they want to do. Yeah. They want to be focused on the World Cup. They want to be focused on winning. And they're Argentina and Portugal are 2 nations that can very well win it. And it's one of those things where the media will be the media, and I think just clicks. It's just because if we ask a question, right, I tend to formulate my questions on kind of like chill questions. I kind of, because some of the athletes, you don't know how they're going to answer the question. You don't know how they've been interviewed before. And I'm just like, I'm just going to give you two really easy questions, blah, 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 blah. And then I've gotten really good answers out of those few questions. And especially interviewing hockey players, interviewing coaches, interviewing all those kinds of players, or people rather. And, some of the best answers I've gotten are from the easiest questions. And I think that speaks volumes to how the media formulates questions and how certain athletes answer to certain things. Because we went to a UNLV football game, right? And they had just won. I'm not comparing the World Cup to UNLV football at all. I'm not doing that. But in terms of formulating questions, you kind of saw people, because they had just won, and you want to formulate the questions around the win. And you're going to have those people who ask the questions, oh, what do you think of this player? What do you think of that player on the other team? What do you think of this happening in that certain instance? But, and some people will answer it, some people won't answer it. And you got to be able to take constructive criticism no matter what. If the question is badly worded and they say, I'm not answering that question, as you said, move on to what the team said.
Well, yeah, to your point, it's to make headlines. Nobody really cares about the process of getting there. They care about the win, loss in the column.
Yep.
I think in this case with, Ronaldo and Messi, they're both playing at the highest level, 1A, 1B, however you want to, move that back and forth, because I'm sure people will go, Ronaldo's a goat, no, Messi's a goat. But yeah, however you want to put that, 1A, 1B, 1B, 1A, whatever. But they both use it as fuel. We're not dumb. Both of these guys, they hear it on a daily basis. They use it as fuel to, keep their competitive spirit going at such, they're getting older and older, but, they're using it for competitive spirit. I think it's all good. Just don't ask stupid questions.
Because then this is potentially the last, as well as this is potentially the last World Cup we'll get to see between,
right,
where Messi and Ronaldo are kind of the 2 featured stars. And I think, in the media's case, that's the storyline right there. But I don't believe in chastising another athlete based on another question, and I don't think that. I think whatever reaction both of them would have done, I think just focus on the team, focus on the game, and don't let it take away from the team.
Yeah, I think moral of the story is here's a little message for Messi and Ronaldo fans.
Oh God,
just stop comparing the two. We are witnessing two guys at the age of 39 and 41 in their final World Cup, still performing at the top level,
showing out.
Yeah,
showing out. Messi with 5 goals, now the leading scorer in World Cup history. Ronaldo with 2 goals after first game that didn't go his way, and the team didn't really play around him. The team didn't really click. Now having an amazing game and going into a great game in Miami, Colombia versus Portugal. These are 2 guys showing out in the final World Cup.
And he broke the record. He's the only
first player to score a goal in 6 different World Cups, and probably the only player to ever do that in history. Mm-hmm. So
give your flowers both ways, regardless.
Exactly.
If you're a fan of Messi, fan of Ronaldo,
it's a wonderful thing to see both athletes showing out for their nation. Mm-hmm. That's what it boils down to. That should be the question, regardless of what happens. How do you feel that you guys? Yes, this may be your last World Cup. How do you guys feel? Just from a team standpoint, and how do you think this is going to go? And
is there a way that they can play each other at any point?
Yeah. So, wow. The only way.
Bro's gotta calculate.
Yeah. So I believe if they both win first place in their group, they can only meet each other in the final.
Imagine that.
It's either that. I know it's 1 of 2 ways. One of them has to finish second. One of them has to finish first. And I think they would meet in the quarterfinals. Okay. Or maybe that's the final. It's one or the other. And then the other way is if they both finish first, it's either quarterfinals or the final. So it's one of those 2. I can't remember which is which. But yeah, so as long as one of them finishes first, second, and they win the games they should win, they're going to meet each other eventually.
And that would
imagine that.
And there's a potential that it could be the quarterfinal. If it's a quarterfinal, it will be on the same day that McGregor fights.
Oh my goodness!
So that day will be great for sports.
Sports is
great watch, man.
It was in the prime when the Stanley Cup was happening. Now I think just with the World Cup, it's just going to be always in its
and we're already going to get an amazing matchup next week in a group stage game between Norway and France, which I have to talk about right before we end the show. Mbappe
versus Holland.
Mbappe versus Holland, but Mbappe alone creating history.
Yep.
He's only been in 3 World Cups. He's already second place in all-time goals for the World Cup. And if Messi keeps going on the trajectory he's going, he's going to have that record.
And he's won
maybe for this World Cup. But once Mbappe places 4th and 5th World Cup, which I think he can easily do, he's going to be the all-time leading scorer eventually. And probably the greatest World Cup player of all time. Which, just question, I know you don't want to talk too much, Thomas, but for Kyle, just watch a little bit more. If he does get that record, is he a top 5 player of all time?
Yes. I think if he does that on the world's biggest stage, yes. And as well as in his league and with his own club team with Real Madrid. And he's got a good supporting cast around him too at Real Madrid.
Yeah.
I think no argument, yes.
Yeah, I mean he's yet to win a Champions League.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
But that will come with time.
Exactly.
I mean he's 27 right now.
Yeah.
So time's ticking, but
I think it's
Messi playing with 41.
Messi and Ronaldo are anomalies. Yeah. But if Mbappe is in that talent level where he could be right there.
If he is playing for France at the next however many World Cups, France will be a top favorite regardless because Mbappe is just that type of player where, you see him and every question you have is answered pretty much.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's not much more we can talk about, guys. We're going to have more sports news in the next coming days.
Yep.
So we'll catch you guys next week. Thank you guys for watching The Huddle. Once again, I've been your host, Ariel Meza. Thank you, Thomas, Gobbo, and Kyle Sparrow for joining me today. Appreciate Appreciate you guys so much. It's been a fun one. We'll see you guys next time. Peace out.